Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Let me begin with a small prayer. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavatt Vyapta Dehaya Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. A very warm welcome to yet another session of Weekend with Wisdom. This weekend we have a very special guest, Swamini Sadvidyananda ji, joining us all the way from Gujarat. And since yesterday, she has been giving a overview of one of the most beautiful texts, Prakarana Granthas by Adi Shankara Bhagavad called APAROKSHANUBHUTI. And for those who are attending this session fresh, let me just give a brief introduction. Swamini Sadvidyananda Saraswati ji is a disciple of Pujya Swami Dayanand Saraswati ji, a great exponent of Vedānta and Hindu Shastras. She is teaching Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads in Gujarati in different towns of Gujarat for many years now, last 25 years now. She has founded a trust, Arsha Vidya Tirtha Navsari, and under the aegis of the trust, she has translated and published more than 37 books of Pujya Swami Dayanand Saraswati ji she has translated them into Gujarati. And from 1998 to 2003, she also translated the voluminous book on Bhagavad Gita called Gita Home Study into Gujarati. She has attended and presented papers in various conferences such as National Education Conference in Pune, Gwalior, Sri Vidya International Conference, Mysore, and many other such conferences. We are very grateful to have you here, Swamini ji. And without any further delay, please go ahead and start the session. Viewers, if you have any questions, please put it in Q&A box. We will take up the questions towards the end of the session. Swamini ji, please go ahead.
Om Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Shanno Mitra Shamvarunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Rutam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmam avatu tadvaktaram avatu avatu mam avatu vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaran Loka Shankaram Shankaran Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyoma Vadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Namaste to all. In APAROKSHANUBHUTI, we have reached up to 100 verses. Totally, there are 144 verses are there. So far we have seen that Ajnan is the cause and the knowledge is the solution. And whatever is being caused by Ajnanam, avidya, all that is caused by avidya janya, that is called. That which is born of avidya, everything is mithya. Pratiti kale api nasti. When, because of the ignorance of the rope, when person is seeing the snake, while seeing the snake, there is no snake. Understand this properly. So, pratiti kalepi jagat nasti. And in that jagat, this dehadi upadi also is included. And therefore, except Brahman, nothing is there. Ayamatma Brahman. Sarvam khaluidam Brahman. Understanding this, knowing that Aham Brahmasmi, as yesterday we saw, there are a lot of habitual errors are there. And for correcting the habitual errors, Nididhyasanaṁ is required. So, from the 100th verse, as yesterday we saw, that Shankaracharya is going to give us the step-by-step Nididhyasana. This is the speciality of this APAROKSHANUBHUTI, that generally people just say Nididhyasana karo. Yeah? But how to do the Nididhyasanam? What are the steps for the Nididhyasanam? So here Shankaracharya has given the step. And as we saw yesterday, there are 15 steps are given. Tri panchangani atha vakshe purvoktasya hi labdhaye. Whatever is being said previously, that itself we have to assimilate. Nididhyasanam means assimilation of the knowledge. Knowledge is already being gained, labdha. But we need to assimilate the knowledge. The assimilation of the knowledge is called Nididhyasanam. So, Sada Karyam Nididhyasanam Evatu. So, in next 3 verses, Shankaracharya is enumerating these 15 steps of Nididhyasana. Nitya abhyāsa rute praptihi na bhavet satchidanatmanaha. Shankaracharya says that without this practice, Nitya abhyāsa, Nirantar abhyāsa is required. The constant practice of this assimilation of knowledge is required, without which we cannot establish into the knowledge of the self. Tasmat Brahma Nididhyaseta Jignasuhu Shreyase Chiram. And therefore, all the Jignasut should go through this process of assimilation. Understand? What are these? Yama, niyama, tyaga, mauna, desha, kalata. Yamaha. Shankaracharya has taken the words from the Pātañjala-yoga-sūtra. But those words are being converted into the Nididhyasana. Very beautifully he has done this. Yam, niyam, tyaga, maunam, deshascha, kalata, asanam, moola bandhascha, dehas, samyam, cha Dṛg-Dṛśya-viveka. Prana sanyamanam, pratyahara, dharana, atma dhyanam, samadhihi, cha proktani angani, vaikramat. Shankaracharya says, there is an order. You have to go with this order, krama, in order, understand. So what is the first one? When somebody wants to go through the process of assimilation, never say, I do meditation, I do Nididhyasanaṁ. You cannot say that. Because it is a process. Not a process. It is something which you are doing not by your will. Understand? Though your sankalpa, will is required for meditation. But meditation itself is not the will. See, in English or any language, there are two words are there. I perform actions. Understand? So perform means the sankalpa is there, the karta is there, who is by his own sankalpa performing action. But certain things we don't say that karta is involved. So there it happens or takes place. In English also we say. Action you perform. Knowledge takes place. Similarly, meditation takes place. You perform such, you create such an environment within yourself. Outside also, Shucho Deshe Pratisthapya, Bhagavān in 6th chapter says, outside there is a conducive environment. But more important is internal. If internally we create a conducive situation, meditation takes place. Understand this. Same way, Nididhyasanaṁ also is not sankalpa. That's why I am using the word process of assimilation. It's not an act of assimilation, it's a process of assimilation. And Shankaracharya says, Nirantaram abhyasa. We have to rute prapti. Without this constant process of a meditation or the Nididhyasana, there is no way person can establish oneself into the Swarupa of the self. That is a Brahman. So the first step is what? Yama. What is yama? In general, we say yama means what? You have a say over your senses. Indriya grama sanyama. Now here what is Indriya grama sanyama? So Shankaracharya said, Sarvam brahmeti vijnanat Indriya grama sanyama yamaha ayam iti samagra samproktaha abhyasaniyaha muhur muhuhu. Again and again we have to practice this. Understand? Abhyasaniya. What? Sarvam brahmeti vijnanat. Everything is Brahman only. That means what? Whatever Indriya grama sanyama, the Indriyas are being what? It is under your control. I don't say this in control. You don't come under the spell of these Indriyas. And you are going to see, you are going to hear, you are going to eat. So all the Indriya activities are going to be there. But in everything you see the Brahman. So seeing the Brahman in everything itself is a say over your senses. Do you understand? So all the Indriya Sanyama means all the 5 objects. Objects are Brahman only. Drashya also is a Brahman. Drashta also is Brahman. Darshana Kriya also is Brahman. Brahma Karma Samadhina. Understand? So every activities of the Karmendriya are Brahman only. Karta also is Brahman. Karana also is Brahman. Karma also is Brahman. Drashya also is Brahman, Drashta also is Brahman, Darshana Kriya also is Brahman. And Sarvam Brahmeti Vijnana. Because of that knowledge that everything is Brahman, all Kriyas also are Brahman. And therefore, seeing this way is called yama. I am yamaha samproktaha. We are not doing anything else. That every indriya is also, that even in bhakti also we say same way. Though we do the Shodasha Upachara Puja of Bhagavan, Atma Tvam Girijamati Sahachara Prana Sharirang Griham, look at it. Pujate Vishayopabhoga Rachana. Whatever sense objects we are perceiving, that I am offering to you, that is your puja. Same way. Here we are, there it is a bhavana. Here it is a knowledge, vijnana. Drashya also is Brahman. So that's why seeing everything Brahman is called yama. What is a niyama? Sajatiya pravahascha vijatiya tiraskritihi niyamaha hi paranandaha niyamat kriyate budaihi. As I said yesterday, that every step we have to follow again and again. That means what? It's going to take some time. Nididhyasana is not one day job. Meditation is not one day job. Nirantar. Nirantaram means what? Constantly we have to do that. There are two words are there. Nitya, satatam. Satatam means what? Regularly you do it. Nitya means every day when you are doing this, you need to have a particular time. The same time, same place, you do this. And so this Nididhyasana also, the yama also is to be practiced. Process is there, muhu, again and again. Once you have developed that everything is Brahman through the senses, at the level of Karmendriya and Gnanendriya, once you have developed that, then you go to the next step. Now, in the mind, there are two types of the vritti, thoughts. Sajatiya pravaha, vijatiya tiraskriti. So, see, this is a definition of dhyana. Meditation also is saying that in the mind, that the vritti which are not having the subject matter or object as a Brahman, vijatiya. Sajatiya means vrittis are many. See, in Patanjali Muni also never said that you stop your thought. Understand this part. Drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam samadhi. Thoughts are good. There will be the flow of thought. But what is the object of your thought? Sajatiya pravaha. Constantly you are thinking of the Brahman. Purnoham. Take one word, Purnoham. Then you think how the Brahman or you are Purna. That is called Sajatiya pravaha. Vrittis are many, but every vritti, the object of every vritti is Brahman. Atma samstam manakritva nakinchidapi chintai. That is what Bhagavan is saying. Accept the Atma as Brahman. Don't think of anything else. Even if the mind moves away, yataha nischarati tataha niyamyaye tataha shanaihi uparamet. Understand? We have to process that. Niyama. Mind has the capacity to move around. It has a habit of moving around to different objects. Now, niyama means what? You stop. Vijatiya tiraskriti. You stop your mind from going to the different objects and keep the mind in the one object called Ayamatma Brahma. Purnoham niyamaha hi paranandaha. Shankaracharya says, this niyama is a parananda. Why? You enjoy it. Understand? That's why I said it is not a kriya. It's very sahaja. So, parananda means you enjoy this vijatiya vritti pravaha. Niyamaha paranandaha. So, in the beginning, you have to have the capacity to avoid the vijatiya. Then it becomes very spontaneous for you to think about the self. And then you enjoy that. You relish that. I am Purna Brahma. I am Purna Brahma. Parananda Niyama. Shankaracharya says, there we don't have to push ourselves. There is no pushing. That's why I am telling no control word is there. Niyamaha parananda. You enjoy relishing. Okay. Once you enjoy, you start enjoying this niyama. Sajatya vritti prava you are enjoying. See, it's very spontaneous, understand? You don't have to make any effort. You enjoy that sajatya vritti. Once you are established into this sajatya vritti, the third step is called tyagaha. Tyagaha prapancha rupasya chidatmatva avalokana tyago hi mahatam pujyaha sadyo mokshamayo yataha. Tyagaha prapancha rupasya chidatmatva avalokanat. Tyaga is what? Chidatma tvat avalokanat. The prapancha, the external world, what you are experiencing, that prapancha is what? Chidatma tvat. Whatever here is one consciousness. You see that everything is one consciousness. Understand? So, avalokanat. Avalokanat means you have to see that clearly. When you see the wave, you see the water. Actually, without seeing the water, you can't see the wave. Similarly, asti bhati priyam. So, everything is Satchidananda Brahman. Jadam also Stavara Jangamam. Char Achar, Jad Chetan. Everything in Prapancha is what? Chidatma. It's in the form of consciousness. Everything is one consciousness. Like in the Swapna, in the dream state. You, the consciousness, has become everything. Entire Swapna Jagat is nothing but the consciousness. You think of the mountain, and mountain is there. You think of the river, river is there. You think of the human being is there. You think of cow, cow is there. You think of house, house is there. The consciousness in the form of the thought becomes the entire Swapna Jagat. Similarly, here also what? The Nama Rupa is being given up. Tyaga means what? There is no Nama Rupa, understand. Only Satchit Ananda is there. So giving up the Nama Rupa, you see the Adhisthana Brahman, the Chaitanya. And Shankaracharya says, Tyago hi mahatam pujyaha. Understand? This Tyaga is very well revered, understand? Respected. Why? Because through this Tyaga, you can establish into the self very quickly. So from the standpoint of the prapancha, you see that everything is one non-dual consciousness. See, this is very difficult, understand. It's not that easy. That's why Shankaracharya says you need to have a process. Because when I see the mobile, this mobile is a jada, understand? So how can I say this is consciousness? This is Brahman. It is Brahman, understand? It is consciousness. That's why this Sajatiya Pravaha is required. You develop that kind of that state of your mind that you can see Chaitanya. Buddhi-grahya. See, that is why it has to come to your day-to-day transaction. See, in our culture, we don't touch anything with the legs. Even the bucket of water is there for taking bath. We don't touch it with the legs. We respect everything. Understand? Why? Everything is Brahman. So that avalokana means that seeing that everything is one consciousness. You have to process it. See, that is why again and again in my talks I always tell that Shabda Brahma is known. Shabda Brahmati Vartate. In Gita also Bhagavaൻ says that Artha Sphuranam has to be there. Everything is Chaitanyam. So that knowledge has to be there, that whatever here is Chaitanya. Nothing is Jada. There is no Jada and Chaitanya. There is no Char and Achar. Everything is one consciousness. Vriksha also is a Chaitanya. Parvata also is Chaitanya. Body also is Chaitanya. Pustak also is Chaitanya. That is why you need this. Abhyasaniya. And you have to do the abhyasa. Punah, abhyasa means not learning. It is abhyasa means again and again you do this. And then what is maunam? So for maunam, Shankaracharya is giving 3 verses. Yasmad vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha yan maunam yogi bihi gamyam tad bhajet sarvada buddha. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it says yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Even the speech goes to understand Brahman, it comes back bringing mind also with itself. That means what? Yom maunam yogi bihi gamyam. There is nothing to talk. Anya vacha vimunchata. Mundaka-upanishad. Why? Maunam. When everything is Brahman, tad bhajet sarvada buddha. You don't have necessity to talk. That is the maunam. Why? When you are enjoying yourself as Brahman, what is there to talk? Understand? So there is no necessity for the person to talk. There is no inner pressure. Swamiji says there is always a pressure to talk. The pressure to talk, understand, it's a child inside. See, every kid, when they go to school, when they come back, they have to tell everything. Starting from the one getting the bus, getting into the bus, school bus, and coming back by school bus. Till that time, whatever is being done or happened, the child has to tell the mother. See, that is the problem nowadays for the kids. Parents are not available to listen to the kids. Both parents are working parents. See, that is what's happening nowadays. Why children are too much on the Facebook? Why too much on the WhatsApp? Why too much external? Because in the family, they don't get any attention. Understand? When child comes back from the school, at least half an hour, mother should be available for the child. There are so many things are there in child's mind to tell to mother. This what happened, he came, he didn't come, he brought this breakfast, he was talking to me, the teacher was like that. So many. And teacher taught us the sun is hot. So many things are there in the mind. The same child continues in our life. At the age of 80 also, we have, we need to talk. There are a lot of people, because nobody is there to listen to them, they talk themselves. But here is what? Maunam yogibihi gamyam. There is no necessity to talk anything. That is understood. Bhajet sarvada buddha. Buddha, the wise people, practice this. Bhajet. They enjoy that. Mauna. Why? Vacho yasmad nivartante tadbhaktum kena shakyate. From where the speech has come back, what is there to talk now? What it can talk now? Bhaktum kena shakyate. From which the Vani has come back. Now what is there for Vani to talk about? Prapancho yadi vaktavya sopi shabda vivarjitah. Shankaracharya says, from the standpoint of Brahman also the Vani has came back, and that's why there is nothing to talk for Vani regarding the Brahman. Not only that, Prapancha also is not there. Prapancho yadi vaktavya. If you say, no, I have to talk about this. Sopi shabda vivarjitah. Why? Anirvachaniya. The entire prapanch is anirvachaniya. You cannot describe that this is prapancha, this is not prapancha. Understand? Sadasabhyam anirvachaniya. Narupamasya tatha eva upalabhyate. 15th chapter, Gita. Understand? From the standpoint of Brahman also, Vani cannot reach there. And from the standpoint of Prapancha, it is not there at all. And even if it is there, you cannot describe it. Understand? Anirvachani. Iti va tad bhavet maunam satam sahaj sangnidam. It is sahaj. It is very spontaneous for the gnani not to talk. Gira maunam tu balanam prayuktam brahmavadibihi. Gira maunam means speech. Maunam is not talking at all. That the maunam based on the speech. It is for the children. But for Brahman Vadi, what is there? Prayuktam brahmavadibihi. Real maunam is what? You don't have a pressure, inner pressure to talk. It is very natural. You don't have to pressurize yourself to not to talk. See, that's why akaramani karmaya pasya. If you have to stop yourself from not talking, you have to stop yourself talking. Means what? It is also karma, because the stopping is there. Do you understand that? And therefore, you don't have to stop yourself. It is very sahaj, very spontaneous. That's why I said it doesn't see any necessity to talk. Whatever is going on, it's going on. Just keep watching. You don't have to say anything. We are not talking about the gira maunam here. And therefore, maunam, Munehe bhavam maunam. Understand? When your mind is already occupied with the Brahma Chintan, where is the question of talking? Do you understand? You don't stop because your mind is already busy in Ishwara Chintana, Brahma Chintanam, Atma Chintanam. It's very spontaneous that you don't talk. Desha, Kalata, Desha. What is Desha? Ādavante ca madhye ca jano yasminna vidyate yena idam satatam vyaptam sadesho vijanaha smrutaha. Very beautiful. Look at this. What is Desha? Generally, we think what has this Desha has to do with the Nididhyasanaṁ. That's why I'm telling this very beautiful Nididhyasana process is there. Every speaker should adapt this process to establish into the knowledge of the self. Desha means vijana desha, understand? Deshaha vijanaha smrutaha. The place where there are no people. Vijana desha. Solitude, understand? What is that? Yasmin adavante madhye cha janaha na vidyate. The self is one where there is no people. Before also there was no people, after also there is no people, madhya also there is no people. Understand? Yena idam satatam vyaptam. Why? Because the Brahman is the one who is all pervasive. Where are the people? Everything is Brahman. Understand? When everything is Brahman, everything is the self which is Brahman. In the Brahman, before also there were no people, after also there is no people. Now also there are no people. Understand? That is called Vijana Desha. You see the absence of the people in the Brahman. Asataha bhavaha na vidyate. It's not there at all. No, now people are there. I am transacting in the world. Where is now? What is now? From the standpoint of the Brahman, Sadeva Somya Idamagra Asid. Understand? This Jagat, previously it was Sad Brahman. Now also is what? Madhya also it is Brahman. After the destruction of the Jagat, it is going to be Brahman. And therefore, seeing that absence of everything, the people and everything, that is called Vijana Desha. You don't have to go to some place. That's why I'm telling you. See, a lot of people have this kind of the condition in the mind for the Desha. Rishikesh, Haridwar, Himalaya. Don't condition your mind with one Desha. That is what Shankaracharya telling you. You see that it is absence. Nobody is there. Ekameva dvitiyam. You are one non-dual consciousness. Where is the second thing? Seeing that there is no second thing. Why? Because everything is being pervaded by you only. Seeing this called Vijana Desha. What is Kalata? Kalanat sarva bhutanam brahmadinam nimeshatah kala shabdana nirdishtah akhandananda advayah. What is Kala? Kalanat sarva bhutanam. Kalanam. Kalanam means gananam. Calculation. Kala is the one who is calculating, understand? Sarvabhutanam brahmadinam nimeshatah. So, starting from Brahmaji to this entire creation, understand, calculates within a second. Nimeshat. Nimeshatah means what? Opening the eyes. How much effort it takes to open your eyes? How much time it takes to open your eyes? No. Within a second. Kala shabdena nirdishtah akhandanandah advayah. This is akhanda ananda. There is no khanda. There is no kala khanda is there. Kali Yuga, Chatur Yuga, Kalpa, Samvatsara, Masa, no kala. Akhanda ananda. When there is a khanda, then there is a calculation. You understand now? Why he is telling Akhandananda? The divisions are there. Then you can have a calculation. There is no division. It's an undivided, Akhanda Ananda, undivided Ananda. Advaya, because it is one non-dual. So that is called Kala. Everything is being calculated in a moment. So, see that from the standpoint of the time also, everything is what? One non-dual. See, that's why we have Mahakaleshwar. Kala is also Brahman, but Brahman is not Kala. It's a timeless Brahman. We worship Brahman, Ishvara also as a Kala, Mahakala Loka. Yeah, that is also Brahman. Time is Brahman, but Brahman is not time. There is no calculation in Brahman. From the standpoint of the Shrishti, from the standpoint of the time, we have calculations, but there is no time. Avinashi means what? It is not time bound. It is sarvavyapi means yena sarvamidam. It's all pervasive. There is no desha. For all pervasive Brahman, there is no desha. For Avinashi Brahman, there is no time. It is beyond the time and space. That's why we have to see that Brahman is beyond the time and space. See that. The calculation of the time is what? Khanda. This is Akhandananda. What is Asanam? Sukhenaiva bhaved yasmin ajasram brahmachintanam asanam tadvijaniyat naitarat sukhanashanam. Sthiram sukham asam. That's the definition. So same thing he is using, the same word he is using. Sthiram sukham asanam. The posture in which you are very comfortable. Sukham means very comfortable. Sthiram means steady. So now, if you are established into the Brahman, very spontaneously, that is asana. Sukhenaiva bhaved ajasram brahmachintanam. There is no effort for brahmachintanam. Asanam tadvijaniyat na itarat sukhanasha. Not other, those who are destroying the sukha, the comfort. Sthiram sukham asanam, but how long you can sit? That sitting posture may be 2 hours, 3 hours, how much you can sit? Not on 24 hours you can be in one posture. And that's why Shankaracharya says, if you think about the one posture all the time, not possible. Sukhanashanam. It is the other kind of the postures which are destroying your happiness, your comfort. But here, Brahma Chintanam is Ajasram. Understand? Ajasram means Nirantara. Where there is a constant thoughts of Brahman is going on, And that is also what? Sukhena, sahaja. You don't have to put any effort to think about Brahman. Sukhena eva bhavet. Very comfortable you are. Thinking of Brahma. Brahma Chintanam is a part and parcel of you. Vyogarato va, bhogarato va, sangarato va, sangavihina. Understand? Whether you are in the midst of the people or you are alone. Whether you are doing yoga, means samadhi, or bhoga. Yasya brahmani ramate chittam. Understand? Whose mind is constantly enjoying that swarupa. Sukhena. So Shankaracharya says, here the spontaneous Brahma Chintanam without any effort is called asana. Now asanam is what? In asanam also, we have to have siddhasana. Any posture, if you can keep for 45 minutes, 43 actually, one mudra, then it's called siddhasana. You sit for 45 minutes in one posture without changing any body posture, understand? Situations. Then it is called siddhasana. So when you are talking, 1 hour you are sitting, you have to sit in the same posture. So it's called siddhasana. But here what is siddhasana? Siddham yas sarva bhutadi vishwadhishthanam avyayam yasmin siddhaha samavishtaha tadvai siddhasanam viduhu. Yat sarva bhutadi vishwadhishthanam avyayam. The Vishwa which is in the form of Sarva Bhuta. All Bhutas are there in the Vishwa. But the Adhishthanam Avyayam Yasmin Siddhaha. The Adhisthana of all Bhuta is what? That one non-dual consciousness. Yasmin Siddhaha, the one who is established into that non-dual consciousness, which is the substratum of entire world, that is called siddhasana. You see that? The one non-dual consciousness. It is in the form of the Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prithvi, Shariram, Prana, Man, Buddhi, everything. Understand? It is one non-dual consciousness. And once you have Siddhaha Yasmi, the one who is established into that, that is Siddhasana. See, that's why I told you, it's not something you do, it happens. Sahaj. There should be sahajata, there should be spontaneous. In the beginning, deliberately we have to do something. But that deliberation also has to go and it has to become very spontaneous, sahajam. So once you can see that everything is one non-dual Brahman, and that is called Siddhasana. Mool Bandha. What is Mool Bandha? From the standpoint of the Atma Gnanam, what is Mool Bandha? Yan Moolam Sarva Bhutanam, Yan Moolam Chitta Bandhanam, Moola Bandha Sada Sevya Yoga Asau Raja Yoginam. This is the beauty of Shankaracharya. I enjoy this. Yeah? Shankaracharya has taken the word Moolam. Moola means cause. Yan Moolam Sarva Bhutanam, that which is the cause of the all beings. That which is the cause for the Chitta Bandhanam, understand? Your mind is now established into the Brahman. That is a bandhana, chitta bandhanam. Understand? Mind is constantly thinking of Brahman and it enjoying that Brahman. Understand? Which is the moola, which is the cause of everything. See how Shankaracharya converts the thing. Moola bandha. That which is the cause of everything and that which is the cause for the keeping your mind in that. Chitta bandhanam. Understand? Your mind is always constantly enjoying the thinking of Brahman. It looks like a bandhanam. It's not a bandhanam. Understand? Moola bandha sada sevyaha, Shankaracharya says, all the time you should have this moola bandha. Asau Raja Yoginam Yoga. This is the yoga for the Raj Yoga. You see that Brahman is the cause of everything. And in that Brahman, you tie your mind. Chitta bandhanam, you tie your mind. Bandhanam is you tie. Your mind is tied with this Brahman. If literally you want to say, that is what you can say. Your mind is tied with this Brahman. That is chitta bandhanam. Very sahaj. Yastu atmaratireva sad atma tuptascha manava atmanyevati santushta. Understand? That is chitta bandhanam. Mool bandhanam, moolena saha bandhanam, mool bandhanam. Your mind is tied, attached to the cause of everything. It's called mool bandhanam. Samata. Your body should be what? Samam kaya shiro grivam. That's samata. What is that deha samata? So Shankaracharya gives the definition. Anganam samatam vidyat same brahmani liyate nacha uchchaina samanatvam rujutvam shushka vrukṣavata. Generally we take it as what? The body, the neck and the head should be in one line, Samam shiro kaya griva. Samam shiro griva. Samam kaya shiro grivam. That is not we are talking here. What we are talking? Same brahmani liyate. Your mind is absorbed. Liyate means absorbed into the sama Brahma. Nirdosham hi samam Brahma tasmat brahmani testhita. Anything you say, Gita has told everything. Bhagavan has not left a single stone unturned. Understand? Samam Brahma. Panditaha samadarshinaha. Samam is not equal, understand? It's a Brahman, sama Brahman. Same brahmani liyate. Everything is one non-dual Brahman, sama Brahman. There is no Vishamata. Na uccha naiva samanatvam. Nothing is beyond, nothing is equal to it. Understand? Rujutvam shushka vrukṣavata. Shushka vrukṣavata. The dried tree. The dried tree, there are no branches. It's straight. So, it is a one straight tree trunk is there, shushka vrukṣa. Similarly, your mind is constantly flowing. The thought of flow is constantly going towards the Brahman. That is samatha, not straight body. How long you can keep your body stable? But if your mind is absorbed into that Samabrahma, it's not that in human body consciousness is more, and then in the ant it is little less, and in this jada it is little less. No. Samabrahma. There is no Vishamata. Everything is one non-dual consciousness. Jad also is same consciousness, understand? See, that is why it's very difficult. To see oneself as Brahman is easy, but seeing this Jad Jagat as a Brahman, everything is one. So that is called Samatha. Samadarshana is Samatha. Panditaha Samadarshina. Sarvatra Samadarshanam. Sarvatra you see that same Brahma. Drashti sthirata. What is sthirata? All this what are Dishascha anavalokayan. Drashti sthirata is what? Dishascha anavalokayan. Don't look into the any directions. Samam kaya shiro grivam. Dishascha anavalokayan. So here what is that sthirata? Drashtim gnanamayam krutva pashyat brahmamayam jagata sa drashti paramodara na nasagravalokini. Nasagrava lokini. Seeing the Nasikagra, Dishascha-anavalokayan. That is not the drashti. Drashti is what? Drashtim gnanamayim kritva. Your vision is gnanamayam. Gnana chakshu. Pashyanti gnana chakshusha. Your drashti is knowledge. Drashti in the form of the knowledge. Then you see everything is one. Brahmamayam Jagat. See, there are a lot of things are there. With the eyes, what you are seeing. But with the knowledge, you can see something which is beyond the eyes. Understand this properly. Gnanamayi drashti. See, somebody has a fever. And because of the fever, the person is lying on the bed. One day, this fever, they take some medicines here and there. Nothing. Second day also, the fever continues. Then you call doctor. Doctor asks you 2-3 questions. When did it start? How did it start? How do you feel? So you describe that. So description means you are already experiencing it. And you know that. But based on the data what is given to the doctor, doctor sees something more than that. You understand? Oh, I think you have a lung infection. Now, how does he know that there is a lung infection? Gnanamayim drashti. Seeing the characteristics of the fever, when it starts, when it ends, how it is there, how the person feels. Based on the data, doctor can tell this is a fever because of the lung infection, because of the liver infection, because of the kidney infection. Understand this? That is called Gnanamayim drashti. What your eyes are seeing is there, but you have to see more than that. And more than that is what? Brahmamayam Jagat. Your eyes are showing this is Pushpam. Your Gnanamayi Drashti says the Pushpam is Brahman only. Entire Jagat is nothing but Brahman. So you see beyond the senses. Atindriya. Sadrashti Paramodara. This vision, Drashti means vision. This vision is what Paramodara. It is very Udara. Udara means it's a very inclusive. It includes everything. Udara means what? You include everything. Your Gnanamayi Drashti is such that everything is included in one Brahman. Udara generally thinks with big-hearted person is called Udara. But here Udara means what? Paramodara Drashti. Because it crosses all the sense objects. It crosses all the emotions in the mind and see the reality. Gnanamayi Drashti means what? What is seen or what is known by the senses, what is known by the mind, what is known by buddhi. You cross that and see that this one adhisthana. And that is drashti, that is a vision, Gnanamayi Drashti. We have to develop this Gnanamayi Drashti. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Swapake Panditaha Samadarshinaha. Understand? Whether there is a Brahmana, Vidya Vinaya Sampanna, you cross that and see that it is one Brahman. Gavi Hastini, there is a cow, you cross that vision. Hasti, elephant. You cross all this vision of the senses and mind and see beyond that. That is a Gnanamayi Drashti. Pashyanapina Pashyati Mudha. Seeing also person doesn't see. But here is what? Pashyanti Gnana Chakshu. Because of the Gnana Chakshu, Gnana Drashti, the person sees everything is one non-dual consciousness. That Drashti hall also should be but Sthira Drashti. What is the Sthira Drashti? Drashtu Darsha Dṛśyanaṁ Viramaha Yatra Va Bhave Drashti Tatreva Kartavya Nanasa Gravalokini. Not seeing your nose, tip of your nose, or Bruvor Madhye, between two eyebrows. No. That is not a Drashti we are talking. Sthira Drashti means what? Not only this Dṛśya Jagat is Brahman. Drashta Darshana Dṛśyanaṁ Viramaha Yatra Va Bhavet. Where there is no differences, Virama. The difference is where the difference is ends. Virama means ends. This is Drashta, this is Darshana Kriya, this is Dṛśya. The division of Triputi is gone. Drashta also is Brahman, Dṛśya also is Brahman, Darshan Kriya also is Brahman. Understand? Drashti tatreva kartavya. That is the vision we have to develop. Kartavya means we have to develop this vision. That is what I am telling. Maharaj used to tell that. मैं ब्रह्म हूं वो कहने वाला कच्चा वेदांती है. मात्र दृष्टा इज नॉट ब्रह्मन. दर्शन क्रिया also is Brahman, Dṛśya also is Brahman. So the division of the Drashta, Darshana, Dṛśya, that division itself Viramaha, destroyed. And we have to remove that division. There is no khanda, there is no division. It is one non-dual Brahman. Brahman is a Drashta. See, in Gujarat, while doing bhojanam, we say Brahmarpanam, but that is also one Brahmanam. Understand? Vishnu bhojanam, bhokta, Vishnu bhokta. Bhojanam also is Vishnu, the bhokta also is Vishnu. Understand? So, sarvatra Brahma darshanam. There is no division, Dṛg-Dṛśya. Where all this division ends, Shrota, Shabda, Shravanam, Vakta, Vacha, Vachanam, Triputi, what we call. All Triputi ends where? In that drashti. That is a sthira drashti. And that is kartavya. We have to develop that vision. Now, what is pranayama? Chittadi sarva bhaveshu brahmatvenaiva bhavanad nirodha sarva vruttinam pranayama sauchyate. See, as I told you, everything is internal. It has nothing to do with the external world. What is pranayama? Chittadi sarva bhaveshu brahmatvenaiva bhavanad. Every thought, every emotion of your mind is Brahman. That's why I always tell. Even if when you are crying, you say, I am a crying Brahman. Why? Crying is the emotion of the mind. And you are the Sakshi Cheta Kevalo Nirgunascha. Understand? You are the substratum of that Brahman. And you are the Sakshis. See, what is Brahma Gnana? Adhisthana Sakshi Aikya is a Brahma Gnana. All the vruttis are there. The substratum of the all vritti is consciousness. The vritti is born of the consciousness. It is there, sustained by consciousness. It goes back to consciousness. Understand? So, substratum of the vritti is consciousness. The Sakshi also is what? Consciousness. Jagat Adhisthana is a Brahman. And Jagat Sakshi, you also is Brahman. Adhisthana, Sakshi, Aikya is a Brahmagna. Understand? And therefore he says, Chittadi sarva bhaveshu, Brahmatvena bhavana. You see that every thought is Brahman. Whether it is a Kama Vritti, Krodha Vritti, Lobha Vritti, Shanta Vritti, Vikshipta Vritti. Pratibodha Viditam Matam. Every Vritti is consciousness. Every emotion is consciousness. Seeing that, it is called, you develop that nirodha. See, pranayama means what? Breathe in and breathe out is very natural. You don't have to make any effort. Even when you are sleeping, breathe in, breathe out is going on. Now you develop the control over this natural process. That is called pranayama. Take this much time for breathe in. Puraka. Then you take this much time to stop it. Kumbhaka. Then you take this much time to breathe out. Rechaka. That is called pranayama. That means, though it is a natural process of breathing, you develop certain way of breathing. Means you are controlling that breath. Nirodha, understand? Here it is what? Every thought is Brahman. That is a pranayama, understand? So, but in pranayam, there are three things are there. Rechaka, kumbhaka, puraka. So what is that? If this pranayama is in the form of the every thought, the substratum of every thought, and the sakshi of every thought is Brahman. That is pranayam. If that is the pranayam, then what is a rechaka? What is a kumbhaka? What is a puraka? So, Shankaracharya, next 3 verses, he is explaining that. Nishedanam prapanchasya rechakya samiranaha. Rechaka means you breathe out. Now, what you have to breathe out? Nishedanam prapanchasya. You remove the prapancha from Brahman. There is no prapancha in Brahman. Understand? Prapanchopashamaha shantam shivam advaitam. As you remove the breath from your lungs, similarly, you remove the prapancha from the Brahman. Rechakakya samiranaha. There is no prapancha in Brahman. Then what is puraka? Brahma evasmi va vruttihi puraka vayuhu iritaha. There is no prapancha at all. That is a rechaka. What is a puraka? Aham brahmasmi. I am non-dual. See, I have to say same thing again. I am non-dual consciousness. That is a puraka. You establish your mind in the Brahman and you remove the prapancha. There is a rechaka and puraka. What is a kumbhaka then? Kumbhaka means you stop. You breathe in and then you stop. It's antah kumbha. Means you stop breath inside. Antah kumbha. You breathe out, then you stop. It is bahi kumbha. Understand? Now, what is kumbhaka here? Tataha tadvrutti naischalyam kumbhakaha prana sanyamaha. Your mind is established naischalyam. It doesn't move away from Brahman at all. It established without moving away. Naischalyam means without moving away from Brahman. And that is called kumbhaka. Kumbhaka means you stop. Naischalyam. Your mind is not available for anything else. It thinks of Brahman only. Tadvrutti naischalyam kumbhakaha. Ayam chapi prabuddhanam agnanam grahanapidanam. Shankaracharya said, this is real pranayam, this is real kumbhaka. What other kind of the pranayam they are doing, it is very painful for nose. Grahanapidanam. I am not telling you. This Shankaracharya does. But because you have to press here and you have to press here, and you have to press both. Understand? That means what? You are bothering your nose. Grahanapidanam. That is not pranayam. Real pranayam, real kumbhak means what? Your mind is never moving away. Naischalyam, never moving away from them. That is a kumbhaka. That's why I tell you. I like this Bhajgovindam verse. Beautiful. Yogaratova, bhogaratova, sangaratova, sangavihi. Any condition. Your mind is established into Brahman. External condition has nothing to do with this Nididhyasanaṁ. Shankaracharya is removing all this external condition. Understand? Pranayam, desha, kala. But we have this kind of the fancy ideas, you know. Oh, he was there in 20 years in Himalaya. All these fancy ideas are there. Understand? Brahma Gnana has nothing to do with the desha and kala. particular condition of the mind is not Brahmagnanam. Every vritti is Brahmagnana. Vritti Naishchalya. Then what is pratyahara? Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama. Pratyahara. Pratyahara means what? Ahar means you are perceiving objects through your senses. Generally, ahara we take it as a bhojanam, food. But that's not the Akhriyante iti ahar. That which is being perceived, grasped, ahar means grasped by the senses called ahar. Pratyahar means what? You stop your senses for perceiving, from perceiving the objects. Pratyahara. Here what is pratyahara? In Brahmagnanam, in Brahmachintanam, what is pratyahara? Vishayeshu atmatam drashtva manaschiti manchiti manjanam majjanam. Every object of thought, every object of senses is Atma. Vishayeshu atmatam drashtva, having seen every Vishaya as the self. Manaha chiti majjanam, the mind is majjanam, understand, soaked into the Chaitanya. Majjan, dip. You take a dip in the water, it's called majjanam. So mind is taking dip into the consciousness. Why? Because everything is one non-dual consciousness. Every Vishaya also is consciousness. Pratyaharaha savigneyaha abhyasaniyaha mumukshubhihi. Every Vishaya is Brahma. Shabda Brahma is there. Sparsha also is Brahman. Rupa also is Brahman. Rasa also is Brahman. Gandha also is Brahman. And your mind is dipped into that, resolved into that consciousness. That is called pratyahara. Then dharana. Desha nibandhascha dharana. All Pātañjala-yoga-sūtras are there, understood. So you keep your mind at one place, one object, one place. Here what is dharana? Yatra yatra mano yati brahmanah tatra darshanat manaso dharanam chaiva dharana sa paramata. Wherever mind moves, it is Brahman only. सोवत राम ही जागत राम ही स्वप्नों में देखूं राजा राम, अंदर राम ही बाहर राम ही, जहां देखूं तहां राम ही राम. See, all our bhajans are nothing but knowledge, but we converted into kirtana. Guru Krupa Anjana Payo Mere Bhai, Jahan Dekhu Taha Ram Hi Ram. Because of the grace of my Guru, Anjana, he has opened up my eyes and I am seeing everything is one consciousness. Yatra yatra manoyati brahmanaha tatra darshanat. Wherever mind moves, I don't have to stop my mind. Understand? That's why I'm telling. Even in Pātañjala-yoga-sūtra, nowhere it is said that your vritti is being stopped. You study the original sutra, then you understand. All these people, on name of Patanjali Muni, so many things are going on in the world. which has nothing to do with this Pātañjala-yoga-sūtra. There is no kundalini in there. There is no set chakra. And there is a color of the chakra. Nothing is given there in Pātañjala-yoga-sūtra. On name of yoga, what all people are doing? All nonsense, understand? There is not a single time in Pātañjala-yoga-sūtra kundalini is mentioned. There is no kundalini jagrata is mentioned here. Understand? It is all later on, all these people have included all this. He doesn't say you stop your vritti. If you see that what is a samadhi, what is a savikalpa samadhi, what is a nirvikalpa samadhi, all you read this. Very beautiful. Only problem with Pātañjala-yoga-sūtra is that it doesn't talk about the aikya. Jivatma, Paramatma, aikya is not taught. As a sadhana, it is a very good. Understand? And Ishvara also is what? Vishesha Purusha. So, yatra yatra manoyati brahmanaha tatra darshanam. You have a darshana of Brahman everywhere, wherever mind goes. Manaso dharanam chaiva dharana sa paramata. Shankaracharya says, this kind of the dharana is the greatest dharana, para. Why? Because everything is Brahman. You don't have to stop your mind. Wherever you go, it is Brahman. Wherever mind moves, everything is Brahman. You don't have to stop here. You don't have to close. That's why I always tell, Vedānta means what? Open eyes samadhi is Vedānta. Because when we say everything is Brahman, from what you are going to take your mind away from? You don't have to. Vishayas also are Brahman. The mind also is Brahman. The one who is perceiving all the Vishayas also is Brahman. So therefore, wherever mind moves, it has a darshanam of Brahman. And that is called dharana. Now, what is dhyanam? Brahma eva asmi iti sadvrutya niralambataya sthitihi dhyana shabdena vikhyada desha nibandhascha dharana. And your mind is being established in that is called dhyana. Brahma eva asmiti sadvrutya, that is a sadvrutti. I am Brahman, that sadvrutti is there. Niralambataya sthitihi. There is, you are not depending on something else, you are independent. No pramana pravruti is required, no vishaya is required, there is no alambanam required. Understand? So without any alambana, you establish yourself into that Brahman. And therefore, dhyana shabdena vikhyata paramananda dayini sthitihi. The sthiti, that which is that establishment which is being described as by the word dhyanam, it is paramananda dayini. It gives you the paramananda, ananta sukha. It is not something which is going to give you kind of the uneasiness. Why? I am Purna Brahma. That thought, tatra ekatanata dhyanam, Tatra ektanata. Your mind is constantly established in the Brahman. That is dhyana. Tatra ektanata. In Brahman only you have established. And that without any kind of the alambana. Understand this. No Vishaya is there. No Shabda is there. Without any alambana, without depending on anything else, you see that you are Purna Brahma. And that is giving you, it gives you a great Ananda. Brahma, you are Ananda Swarupa. Thinking of Brahman also is Ananda Swarupa. And that is called Dhyana. So now we have Sridhar. We'll continue one more or
yes, Swamini. You can speak for 15 more minutes, then we will take
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then Samadhi. See, I already told you, all Patanjali sutras or whatever shabdas are there, Shankaracharya has converted into the Nididhyasanaṁ. Now, what is Samadhi? See, I'm giving you definitions of Yoga Sutra also. Desha nibandhascha dharana tatra ekatanata dhyanam. Now, what is Samadhi? Drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam samadhi. Now, what is that? So, Shankaracharya tells here. There is nirvikalpa samadhi, there is a savikalpa samadhi. Nirvikarataya vrutya brahmakarataya punaha vritti vismaranam samyaka samadhi gnana sangnakaha. This samadhi, which has the name of the gnana. What? With vritti vismaranam. You are not even aware of your thought, which is flowing towards the Brahman. Understand? Nirvikarataya vrutya. The vritti which has no vikara, no modifications, brahmakarataya punaha, it is in the form of the Brahman. Whole vritti is nothing but brahmakara vritti is there, but you are not aware of the vritti. We are not stopping vritti. Do you understand now? We are not stopping the vritti. There is a brahmakara vritti, the flow of the thought which has, every thought has a brahmakara vritti. But you are not aware of it. You are established into that Brahman, and therefore you are with yourself. And therefore you are not available to see the vritti. Am I clear? Vritti vismarana. It is not vismaram means you are forgetting, but you are not aware of the flow of the vritti. Though it is a brahmakara vritti is there, but you are not aware of this brahmakara vritti because you are in yourself. That is called samadhi. Samadhi means there is a flow of thought. But because you are with yourself. See, now I cannot use the word, your mind is established, understand. Previously I was telling you your mind is established. Vritti naishchalya. Here there is no mind. Understand? Now you are there. You are only you is there, which is Brahman, which is nirvikar. Though there is a brahmakara vritti, flow of brahmakara vritti is there, but because you are with yourself, you are not even aware of this brahmakara vritti. That is called samadhi. Samyak adhiyate asminiti samadhi. Where you are very well established. Not your mind is, understand this samadhi. Your mind is not established. Up to dhyanam, we are talking about the mind. Once it comes to the samadhi, though there is a brahmakara vritti is there, you are not even aware of that. Vritti vismarana. Because you are with yourself. Samadhi, gnana, sangra. That samadhi is a knowledge. It is being said as a knowledge. Understand? That is the knowledge. That is a samadhi. Nothing else is there. You are there. That's it. No mind, no mind. There is no flow of thought. Nothing you are aware of. Vismaram means you are not aware of them. That is called samadhi. Nirvikar. Why nirvikar? Because there is no other thought is there. Brahmakar vrutti, khandakar vrutti only is there. And therefore, it is called nirvikarataya. Shankaracharya said, this is the real samadhi. Now, there is a question in every seeker's mind. How long I should do this? Whether you call Shastra Shravanam, you call Japa, you call Tapaha, Samadhi, understand. So all these different types of Nididhyasanaṁ is being said, different steps of Nididhyasanaṁ being said. We can have a question, how long I should do for yama, how long I should do for niyama, how long I should do pratyahara, how long I should do samadhi. It's a very common question, understand? So Shankaracharya comes up with a very beautiful way of explaining this. How long I should do it. So, imam cha akrutrimam anandam tavat sadhu samabhyaset. As long as it is akrutrima ananda, means ananda where you have to put an effort. Understand? It is not sahada, it is not spontaneous. As long as tavat, as long as you have to put certain efforts for thinking of Brahman. Akrutrim. Akrutrimanandam, where you don't have to put any effort. Akrutrimanandam. Without any effort, you establish on yourself. And that also you establish into the ananda. Sadhu samabhyaset tavata. Seeker should continue the process of nididhyasana. Practicing nididhyasana. Understand? Vashyah yavat kshanat pumsaha prayukta san bhavet swayam. Naisargika is a natural. Krutrim means something which is being created by human beings. So, akrutrim means that is very natural. Vashyah yavat kshanat pumsaha. Yavat kshanat. Till that moment where you enjoy yourself without any effort. So long you have to do this process of nididhyasana. Yavat kshanat pumsaha vasya. Tavat sadhu samabhyase. The moment you enjoy yourself without any effort, you don't have to even control your mind. Your mind is established into the Brahman very naturally, spontaneously. So, till your mind is established into the nature of the self, till you enjoy this Ananda Swarupa spontaneously. Till that time, you have to practice this. You have to go through the process of Nididhyasana. Now, that means what? It varies from person to person because everybody has their own personality. Everybody has their own issues. Everybody has their own emotions. And we have to process these emotions. Unless we process these emotions, Nididhyasanaṁ is not possible. Gaudapadacharya call it kashaya. There are so many undigested, unresolved emotions are there in our mind, which doesn't allow mind to establish into Brahman. Unanswered emotion, unprocessed emotion, and undigested emotions are there. Every person is full of these emotions. Nobody is free of kasha. And therefore, the process of Nididhyasana we have to continue till we enjoy very naturally. I am Ananda. And it has to become part and parcel of spontaneous. Till it becomes the spontaneous, deliberately you practice this. And Yavat Krutrim Anandam. Till it becomes the very natural, the self of you. It's not I am Ananda. Ananda Swarupa. So, my mother, it's okay. So, it has to become you, understand? It's not other than you. If there is alama, that's why niralamban. There is nothing other than you. Atmani eva atmana tushta. Only you is there. No vritti, no flow of vritti smaranam is there. Until it becomes very spontaneous for you, you keep on practicing this process of Nididhyasana. So, up to 125 verse we have gone. Next session we'll complete the book. Any jarur nathi? No. Okay, I'm sorry. Any question?
Thank you, Swamini for the wonderful lecture.
Thank you.
We have not received any questions yet. Viewers, if you have any questions, please share in the chat box or Q&A box. Swamiji, we'll just wait for a few minutes if there are any questions. Meanwhile, I wanted to ask you one question. Shankaracharya has written many Prakarana Granthas. I think we were discussing this briefly yesterday also. What are the unique features of this text, APAROKSHANUBHUTI, compared to his other Prakarana Granthas?
That is what I'm saying. Here, the process of Nididhyasana is not given in anywhere. These 15 steps of Nididhyasana, and also he mentioned Kramat, means one by one you have to do it. So this whole process of Nididhyasana, this is the only book where it is given. Not only that, he presented the whole prakriya very differently. What is Ajnanam? So he does what is other than what else can be the Ajnanam? Ajnanam atah parakim. So 5 verses he gives that this is what Ajnanam is there. 5 verses he tells what is the deha katham deha kaha puman, how I can be body. So creating this kind of a question in the mind of the person, he tried to make them see that I am not body, So there's a very unique way of doing this, It creates the questions. Katham deha kaha puman, kim agnanam atah param. So there's a very different way of presenting the subject matter in Aprokṣānubhūti is there. See, in Atmabodhi, if you see, every verse there is example. It's full of, that's why I always tell, when you say Upama Kalidasasya, but if you study Atmabodh, then you will say Upama Shankaracharyasya. Because every verse he has given one example. But here, he creates the question in the mind of the person, and that's how he answered that. And this, particularly this last session, and the last 44 verses are excellent. It's only in Aprokṣānubhūti. And he very clearly said, Kramat means one by one. It's not that you can do first this. No, all 15s are required. All 15s in order we have to practice. Then you can establish very naturally in the Brahman.
Wonderful, wonderful. We have received one question, Swaminiji. I think the question is, what is moksha?
Okay. What is moksha? That's a very good question. Understand? To understand what is moksha, we have to understand what is bandhana. What is binding? And what is liberation? Na bandhaha, na muktaha. Understand, the reality is the na bandhaha, na muktaha. Because you have a sense of bounding, you are bound. You know, the sense of being bound is there. Therefore, we talk about the liberation. Understand? In reality, you are Nitya Mukta Atma. You are one consciousness. There is nothing else is there through because of which you are going to get bound. But because there is a sense of being bound is there, you know, we have to talk about the moksha. It is something, it is not that you are going to be liberated. Understand? That's another mistake a lot of Vedantis are making. You know. By study, you will be liberated. No. Vedānta Upanishad says, Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhava. Atma is Nitya Buddha, Nitya Mukta, Nitya Shuddha. You don't have to purify your Atma. You are pure. You don't have to be liberated. You are already liberated because you are one consciousness. One non-dual consciousness is there, and therefore no question of binding. But because there is a sense of being bound is there, bandhana vritti is there. So because we have a sense of binding, we have to talk about the moksha. Understand? Otherwise there is no moksha. What is moksha? Though we call moksha purushartha, why moksha purushartha? It is being desired by the person. Shastra doesn't say that I am going to liberate you. Guru doesn't say I am going to liberate you. Understand? You have that sense. You have a desire for liberation. And that's why we have to use the word moksha. Otherwise, there is no moksha. Am I clear?
Yes, Swaminiji. I think that provides a very unique perspective. That one which is often not realized because we always are in the desiring mode. Thank you very much, Swaminiji. I think there are no more questions, Swaminiji, for now. Viewers, you reflect upon this, and if you have any questions, you can also ask in the evening, the final session. When we do, Swaminiji will be taking up questions in the evening. So, Swaminiji, thank you again
Thank you,
for this wonderful series of lectures on a very important text. I think more people need to study this Aprokṣānubhūti for its very sadhana-based teaching. I mean, knowing Vedanta at an intellectual level is one thing, but to actually travel from Praroksha Jnana to Aporoksha Jnana, that is what actually ultimately matters. Thank you very much, Swami.
Yeah, that is what Bhagwan says, na Shabda Brahmati Vartate. So that is where everybody is stuck. That Shabda Brahma we are stuck. That Artha Sphuranam we have to go. Yes. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll do the prayer.
Yes.
Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyorma Amrutangamaya Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Swamini.
See you in the evening.
Yes. Yes, with this we conclude this session. See you in the evening.